What's going on, y'all? I'm the Home Slice Ascend Hyperion. With Halo Infinite nearing over the horizon and the wait for new news on the multiplayer experience underway, speculation has begun on what we can expect to see in the franchise's 6th major installment. I think it's a good time to bring up one of Halo's biggest reoccurring traditions: bringing forward older maps into newer titles. With a rich history of great map designs, Halo games always benefit from the accomplishments of their previous iterations. Maps such as Blood Gulch, Midship, and Haven are great examples of maps that have had some longevity to them. But what if in their quest to restore old Halo roots to the franchise, 343 decided that Halo Infinite would only feature legacy maps? In today's video, I'm going to build you a complete map roster for Halo Infinite using at least one map from every major Halo title, and a few surprises along the way. See if your personal selection wagers against mine as I build Halo Infinite with just legacy maps. Let's get started. Alright, so we want to deliver a complete and diverse Halo multiplayer experience. That being said, I want to make sure I include enough maps to support core arena play, BTB, and even party modes like Infection. This is going to be a little difficult, but let's start from the beginning. So here we start at Halo CE. This is going to be difficult because, in large, I pretty much hate every map in Halo CE, partially because I just don't think CE has aged that well. But I'm able to look outside my own bias and pick out some good material for our map roster. With Infinite's inclusion of modern FPS mechanics like sprint and clamber, and its cool new equipment like grapple hook, a map like Death Island would be awesome, as its already open world-esque appeal would match the game motif perfectly and complement the things I've just mentioned. Now, for similar reasons, we're going to pull Damnation forward too. It's an arena design, giving us our first one for the list, and with its cool overhangs and platforms, it offers great applicability for our new abilities. Moving on to Halo 2, my personal favorite Halo, there's a great variety of maps to choose from. Naturally, I want to pull Waterworks in. Again, it's a BTB compatible size with high design emphasis on vehicles and verticality. It'll bring great variation to our BTB rotation. I'm actually shocked Waterworks hasn't returned in a later Halo. I feel it's one of the coolest BTB maps to ever be made, but I guess that's just me. Now, while we're here in Halo 2, you know we gotta pick up Sanctuary and Ivory Tower. Sanctuary delivers an amazingly consistent 2v2 to 4v4 experience, and with equipment even disabled on the map, gameplay really has a chance to dial in on that gunplay like the old days. Ivory Tower could swing either way, offering an interesting experience depending on what's placed on it. Halo 3 is actually kinda difficult since, for me, many of the maps kinda get the same mental rating, and with our selection of arena maps currently, Halo 3 really doesn't offer too much different from a gameplay perspective. But I would be amiss if I didn't pick up Sandtrap. Despite its quirks with long open sightlines, the elephant gameplay would be fun to reignite in a new title, and the applicability for vehicle gameplay spells out fun on its own right. But I feel it'll contrast nicely with our current BTB selection, being less obviously expansive and less intricate too. Even though I don't love the map, I'm going to pull High Ground in. It does offer a fairly unique gameplay experience, being so aggressively one-sided. It'll help shake up our current selection of arena maps. Finally, we're going to grab the Pit. Come on now, you knew this was coming. On its own, it's not like it reinvents the wheel, but being so solid in its symmetrical design, it does give us another great pure arena style map where the gimmicks of map control fall away and gunplay becomes king again. It'll pair with Sanctuary nicely.
Perfection.
Alright, we're halfway there. At this point, I don't think Reach has too much to add to our arena experience, since several of its maps are just old Halo 2 maps, and then a good chunk of its original maps are just kind of mediocre in my humble opinion. But I think I want to pull Boardwalk, since it's a good switch hitter for 4v4 and 12 player modes, which we're kind of lacking in our current rotation. I think I'm going to snatch up Condemned 2, since its layout is actually pretty varied and will contrast pretty well with our really basic original trilogy maps. And again, it's a good switch hitter for 4v4 to 6v6. You might be wondering why I skipped the invasion maps, and that's simply because our BTB roster is already getting a little meaty. Both Boneyard and Spire have some crazy balancing issues, and we've already done our time dealing with those. We won't carry it forward to 2020. Now we arrive at Halo 4, probably one of the toughest sells for me at this point, cause our list is getting real full. But one thing Halo 4 does bring is BTB maps on smaller scale. Our current list is full of big old battlefields, basically. Halo Infinite appears to have this theme of massive UNSC shipwrecks and debris fields, so I think the map Wreckage will be a nice addition to our list here. Now, while it's far from my favorite map ever, I feel compelled to bring over Exile as well. Like I said, we want our gameplay experience to be varied, and Exile has got to be the smallest, fastest playing dedicated BTB map to ever be dev made. Seriously, this map gave vehicles almost no reason to be around, but it does bring the action closer together, making for wild fights basically everywhere you could be standing. And again, more wrecked stuff. Finally, we come to Halo 5, which in reality is just arena maps. I'll be excluding Forge maps from this list to keep on theme as well. I'm gonna round out our arena selection by grabbing Plaza, which is one of my favorite environments to hit a Halo game, besides it being a fairly solid, consistent 4v4 and free-for-all carrier. We're also gonna grab Mercy to provide us with one final symmetrical arena map. You might be wondering why I picked Mercy in Halo 5 when I could have grabbed Haven in Halo 4. Well, that's simply because I love the art on Mercy way more than Haven. Haven's way too shiny, overexposed, and almost blinding in spots. Mercy has, again, a crazy unique theme for the franchise, and who doesn't love the cozy yet reverent theming on the map? And there we have it, folks. Using just past Halo games, we've built a rotation of 14 unique maps from each prior major Halo title. But before we stop, I actually want one more. With Halo Infinite coming to the Series X and being powered by what is claimed to be the most powerful console ever, I want to see Halo 5 Warzone get a further expansion to a massive team battle mode. 30 on 30 or even more. How about 100 on 100? To house such a wild Warzone type environment, I want the map Frozen Valley from Halo Wars. I know for some this might seem like a weird push, but with Infinite bringing several Halo Wars 2 elements to the main fold, I'd love to see a little love for the game that started the Halo RTS family. While Fort Dean is a personal favorite of mine in-game, a layout more varied like Frozen Valley would just play much better. So here we are with an all-star lineup of 15 maps. Now, are these all the best maps from their respective games? No, not necessarily, but they are an extremely diverse and complementary group when shuffled together. You see, what'll be important is delivering a wide variety of gameplay experiences. We want each map to change how the player thinks and plays. That way you're constantly forming new experiences whenever you queue the next match. Now, should Halo Infinite really be made just of remakes from old maps? No, of course not, but anything listed today as a map I wouldn't mind seeing come back for more hours of awesome Halo gameplay. What about you? That's gonna do it for this video. Be sure to like and subscribe, share the video with others, and until next time, I'll catch you guys later.